So let's solve the question number 4. Question number 4 says that A is equal to Aij be a non-zero real n cross n matrix. So A is a non-zero real n cross n matrix, and Aij is equal to 0 for all I greater equal to j. Okay. If summation I is equal to 0 to k, Ci Ai is equal to 0 for some Ci belongs to R, prove that C0 and C1 must be 0. Okay. Here the Ai denote the ith power of A. Okay, to solve this question you need to have a very good concept on annihilating polynomial, minimal polynomial, characteristic polynomial on the topics, and the relation between the triangular matrix, strictly triangular matrix, nilpotent matrix. That actually I will tell you each and every result which I am going to use, but you need to have a very clear fact. Okay, so let's start the solution of question number 4. This actually says that Aij be so first of all let me write any matrix Aij. So that would be A11, A12, A13 up to A1n, A21, A22, A23, A2n. Okay, students. AN1, AN2, AN3, ANn. Okay, students. Now you actually can see here the first number represents I and the second number represents j. So it is saying that whenever I greater equal to j. Now I greater equal to j, so this is here I greater equal to j, here I greater equal to j, here I greater equal to j. So all the terms below the principal diagonal including the elements of diagonal are 0. They are saying this, all the terms are 0. So the A matrix looks like this. A is equal to 0, A12, A13 up to A1n. Then this 0, A23, A2n. Okay, students. This 0, this 0, this 0, right? So I can actually say this A matrix is a strictly triangular matrix. This A is a strictly triangular matrix. Now there is a very important result. We know that every strictly triangular matrix is nilpotent. It will imply A is a nilpotent matrix. So A is a nilpotent matrix. Now A is a nilpotent matrix. It means there exists a K belongs to Z plus such that A to the power K is equal to 0. This is the definition of nilpotent matrix. We know that. Now what I can say about A, I actually can say A satisfies the polynomial x to the power k, or in other words A satisfies the equation x to the power k is equal to 0. Therefore I am writing A satisfies the equation x to the power k is equal to 0, right students? So I can say x to the power k is a annihilating polynomial of A. Therefore x to the power k is an annihilating polynomial of A. Now x to the power k is an annihilating polynomial of A. Now let me consider a minimal polynomial of A. Let mx denote the minimal polynomial of A. Minimal polynomial of A. Now mx is the minimal polynomial of A. We know that minimal polynomial always divides any annihilating polynomial, and hence mx divides x to the power k. So I can say this mx actually divides x to the power k, right students? So what can I say about mx? Now mx divides x to the power k. What are the possibilities of mx? So mx must be a non-constant polynomial, as this x is A matrix is non-zero, so mx must be a non-zero polynomial, right? So the possibilities of mx is either mx is equal to x, mx is equal to x square, mx is equal to x cube, up to mx is equal to x to the power k, right? These are the possibilities, or in other words, these non-constant polynomials are only divisors of x to the power k. So these are the possibilities of mx. So I am writing therefore mx is equal to x to the power r, where 1 less or equal to r less or equal to k, and r belongs to natural number, right students? Now I am claiming that this r cannot be 1. So claim this r cannot be 1. If r equals to 1, then mx is nothing but x, that is this is the minimal polynomial of A. Now as this is the minimal polynomial of A, I can say that minimal polynomial a matrix always satisfies this minimal polynomial. Therefore m of A is equal to 0. That would imply A is equal to 0. It becomes A is a zero matrix, but it is given to us that A is a non-zero n cross n matrix. So R cannot be 1. So mx cannot be x. So R cannot be 1. Therefore, what are the remaining possibilities of mx? So mx is equal to x to the power r, where 2 less or equals to r less or equals to k, and r belongs to natural number, right students? So this is the possibilities of mx. Now it is given that a to the power I this polynomial is equal to 0. Okay, so let me consider this is let summation I is equal to 1 to k ci a to the power I is equal to 0. What does it means? If I split this, it is nothing but c0i plus c1a plus c2a square plus c3a cube plus up to ck a to the power k is equal to 0. This 0 means 0 matrix. Okay, so therefore I can say A satisfies the polynomial c0 plus c1x plus c2x square plus dot dot ck x to the power k, right? Now A satisfies this polynomial. It means this is an annihilating polynomial of A again. Therefore I can say c0 plus c1x plus c2x square plus dot dot ck x to the power k is an annihilating polynomial of A, right? So this polynomial is an annihilating polynomial of A. Now we know that minimal polynomial always divides an annihilating polynomial. So therefore it would imply mx divides c0 plus c1x plus c2x square plus up to ck x to the power k, right? So now when, let me consider when mx is nothing but x square. Okay, so mx divides this, so I can say c0 plus c1x plus dot dot ck x to the power k is divisible by x square, right? Now observe that it would imply c0 by x square plus c1x by x square plus c2x square by x square plus c3x cube by x square up to ck x to the power k by x square, right? Now you can see all these terms are divisible by x square. So I actually can write c0 by x square plus c1 by x plus c2 plus c3x plus up to ck x to the power k minus 2. But all of these terms are divisible, but you cannot divide c0 by x square and c1 by x. But we know that minimal polynomial always divides this annihilating polynomial, so x square will divide this if and only if c0 is equal to c1 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is c0 and c1 0. Now we have proved when mx is equal to x square. Now if mx is equal to x cube, then same fact, c0 plus c1x plus dot dot ck x to the power k is divisible by x cube, so it would imply c0 by x cube plus c1 by x square plus c2 by x plus c3 plus c4x plus ck x to the power k minus 3, right students? So now it will divisible by x cube if and only if c0, c1 and c2 both 0. c0 equal to c1 is equal to c2 are all 0. So in when the mx is equal to x cube, then c0, c1, c2 are 0. So in such a way, when mx is equal to x to the power r, we can say c0 is equal to c1 is equal to c2 is equal to cr minus 1 is all 0, right? Now in any case, I actually can conclude that c0 and c1 must be 0. Okay, this will imply c2 0, this will then it will imply c4 0. Now c3 zeros, there are some cases where c3 0, there are some cases where c4 0, but c0 and c1 are always 0. Therefore c0 is equal to c1 is equal to 0. Okay, therefore c0 and c1 is always 0. Are you getting my point? Okay, now when mx is equal to x cube, then c2 0. When mx is equal to x to the power 4, then c3 also 0. But in any case, c0 and c1 are always 0. So that is what we need to prove, right students? We need to prove c0 and c1 is always 0. So I am writing this. In any case, c0 is equal to 0 and c1 is equal to 0, and this completes the proof. This is a very clear proof. Okay, it's you will get. So we have solved it. We'll have solved the question number 4, I think. Now let us solve the next question. Okay students. Okay, now let us solve the next question. Just a second. Before that, I am going to erase all of this. So I think, yeah. So let's solve the next question.